about rainbows and what's on the other side.
Goosebumps. That was Broadway star Megan Hilty performing a song for hospital workers in New York City, who of course are on the front lines of this coronavirus pandemic. She is one of many performers just sort of stuck in limbo as Broadway remains closed. But this afternoon, there is no hope that Broadway could be back in business in January. So with me now, Broadway actors Jordan Dean and Megan Hilty. It is so nice to talk to you both. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's nice to be with you. Thanks for having us.
Listen, I know it is your dream, it is your superpower, your resting state, right? To be on stage, to be performing, to sharing your passion with those of us in the audience, and right now you're not able to. And I'm just curious, first of all, what that's like to both of you. Megan, first to you.
Well, it's devastating. I mean, not only is it my life's work and my dream, and it's how I feed my family. You know, whether it's a Broadway show or one of our concerts, I make my living off of performing in front of people, and it's not just monetary, but that's who I am. So I want to preface it by saying I have my health, my family, we all have our health, so it's not devastating in those terms, but it's hard to put your life and your work on hold, but at least we have our health. So
amen to that. Jordan, same question. How's it going for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking to see the community on pause, to hear from friends who are trying to think about where they're moving, how they're living, how they're paying their bills. Everything's connected. It's what we've trained to do, to perform, and the theater is a place that you go to in a time like this, and the fact that that's not available is sad and heartbreaking.
So let me inject hopefully a little bit of positivity. This is the news today. The president of the Broadway League, Charlotte St. Martin, says that she is hopeful that theaters will reopen January 2021. She is hoping full crowds, folks sitting next to one another, obviously people wearing masks. I mean, I imagine, if you're on stage, you love a full house, but if audience members are forced to sit feet apart, if they're forced to wear masks, what will that be like for you on stage as a performer, Jordan?
It's definitely going to be a new paradigm. I think theater is just a contact sport in general, and on stage and sometimes in the audience. So it's going to be, it's going to take some getting used to. But I think it's important to put safety first, to think about the safety of the actors on stage, and the safety of the audience at large. But as soon as we get the green light from the experts, from the health and safety experts and our unions and the powers that be, I think everyone in the community is going to be really eager to get back to doing what they love and sharing their passion with audiences.
In the meantime, let's talk about the Clear Day Project. Jordan, you have pulled together, we saw the video of Megan singing, you have pulled together some of the best and brightest of your Broadway friends, like this. Here's a little bit more.
Look at where you started. The fact that you're alive is a miracle. Stay alive, that would be enough.
Smile when your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you hear the people sing, lost in the valley of the night. It is the music of a people who are climbing to the light.
I miss the theater. I can weep listening to all of this. Jordan, what is the Clear Day Project?
Yeah, sure. So the Clear Day Project is a living theater project that I started with my friends, fellow actors and Carnegie Mellon alums, Dan Amboyer and Kirsty Bryan. And the project focuses on groups particularly affected by the pandemic, whether that's hospital workers, pharmacists, grocery store employees, the disabled community. We're trying to use art to spread some joy, raise awareness and potentially raise funds for those groups.
And how has Megan and Jordan, how has the joy been received? And I had read specifically it was a lot of the frontline workers at Mount Sinai. What would you want to say to them right now?
Personally, I mean, I owe them my life. About a year ago at this time, I underwent 2 heart surgeries at Mount Sinai, one of which was a 13-hour open heart procedure that fixed 2 aortic aneurysms. And I owe them essentially my life. So when I was seeing the community, the arts community, get together, giving back to groups in need, I also wanted to jump in. So I reached out to the team at Mount Sinai and said, what can I do? You know, you were so helpful to me and my family, and I owe you so much. So for us and for the performing community at large to give back to the front lines and those who are doing so much every day, on a normal day they're doing so much, let alone what they're going through now, I think is what the arts are for, and it's what the community is, what makes the community so special, that even though actors are also going through their own struggle, when it comes to groups like frontline hospital workers, they wanted to jump in and get involved.
Megan, quickly, just close us out. Final thought.
I can only imagine that day when we all get to go back into the theaters again together. One thing that this whole time has really taught me is how to be grateful for every little thing that I have, and the things that I possibly took for granted before. Just like walking into a theater, it was as normal as anything. And now the next time I step into a theater, just like every audience member, every front of house worker, every person in the crew, we're going to be so excited. I'm so excited for the day that we can all get back together again.
And we can't wait to be there, right there with you. Megan Hilty, Jordan Dean, if you want more information, it's the cleardayproject.org. Thank you both. And here's to gratitude. Here's another sign.